All right, we're live on one, but we got to go live on two. So we're going to be on now. We do SDF. Okay,
Hello,
we are
world.
all. Okay, wait. Now, oh yeah, here you go. I look like a crazy person.
Hello, world. It's me, Dennis, and we're here at
And it's
the
me, Renee.
R&D
No. Do it
Cafe.
again. No. All right, here's the
All right.
thing. Okay, I'm doing something right now. I never do this, but I'm gonna pull
Mm-hmm.
whatever rank I fucking have. I'm doing it right now. I'm a
Thanks.
massive fan of yours. Fan of yours. Now I'm just
Yes.
talking about the career because there are other things that we that's a joke. You're not laughing. It's funny. It was cute. That was like a
Oh, I'm
Smothers
sorry.
Brothers
Oh,
joke.
okay. I'm. Yes. Good.
It was a joke. It's a joke. Like one of those zingers from the 50s. Come on, man.
Okay.
You're
All
you're
right.
not old enough.
Rim
You're not
shot.
old enough.
No.
You're
No.
not old
No.
enough.
No.
It
No.
was a rim shot. It was like supposed to be
Okay.
a
Now, so,
dig.
so say it again.
I'm a huge fan of yours, okay?
Yes.
So, like,
Wonderful.
I was right. Well, you know that because that's how I met you, right? So,
Right.
I was a fan of yours, and one of
Yes.
the things that you're noted for is you say, "Hello world, it's me, Dennis."
Hello, world. It's me, Dennis.
Right, but then you're used to doing this solo thing where then you go on because it's your show. But now I have commandeered. I'm like one of the few fans who can say this in the entire world. Where
Yes.
like now, I mean, I've sunk in my time, climbed up the social
Boy,
ladder,
you have
and now,
so, and you have an achieve and have achieved equal partnership, absolutely
well,
equal
we're gonna
partnership.
test that. This is the first time I'm gonna do this, and it's live. I'm glad it's recorded because now what I'm gonna do is something that's like totally blasphemous,
Hmm.
for a fan to do, but I feel like I might be there with you.
What's that?
And so I do feel like it's sacrilegious for me to do this. I want to pull out, but let me just do it for a one time deal. I don't
Sure.
think I'm worthy yet. Okay, so now you say it, but instead of doing your solo thing, you're going to pass it to me. And then I'm going to say, and I'm Renee. You're going to say, hello, world, I'm Dennis. And I'm going to say, and
Hello,
I'm,
world. No, right.
wait, I
Let's
was
try it.
talking over you.
Ready?
Yeah,
Ready?
let's pretend it. Let's do it for real.
Hello, world. It's me, Dennis.
And I'm Renee, and welcome to the R&D
Cafe.
Cafe. Okay, so what do you think? I don't know. Oh, yeah.
Well, it's a work in progress, and it's exactly what we need.
Well, I don't know. How did that feel? Like, how did that
Oh,
feel for
great.
you?
It felt absolutely great.
It didn't feel great for me because it doesn't make any sense. Why would I be able to hijack that or have a part in that?
It's not. It's not a
I don't know
hijacking.
if I
It's
can
not a
take it.
hijacking. It's an add-on.
Okay. John Michael Urbano says he likes it. Jonathan said he likes it. Uh,
Hola, Juan
there you
Miguel.
Yes, that's right. So then there you go. Well, then that's all we need then. And then John Michael said, "You're thinking too much." I am. Me overthink? I don't know if I ever overthought. I don't think I overthink. Dennis, have you ever heard me overthink? John Michael just said I overthink. I really don't think I overthink. What do you think?
Well, having just demonstrated in the last 20 seconds the process of you overthinking, it just shows it. So therefore, asked and answered.
Okay, well, look, I want to do a quick shout out to Madeline. Madeline is a troublemaker. Okay.
Ooh, I love
She knows,
troublemakers.
yeah, she does double good trouble. And she almost did like a band in Boston because Madeline, I want you to know that the Tardon Media Network Facebook page notified me as an administrator that we had someone up to no good. She went onto one of Jonathan's streams, and I still don't know what she said.
Hmm.
She got in trouble. So
Ooh.
I don't know what it was actually, but
But they
she's not happy.
notified you? Somebody tattled on Madeline?
The Facebook algorithm picked it up, and you know what they said, Madeline? They said it was so offensive that they weren't even going to show it to me because they didn't want to perpetuate. There's no way on earth that that's true. Look at Madeline. Look at this. I have to show everyone what she's doing right now. Wait, you guys got to see what she's doing. How come it's not? Okay, yeah, that's Madeline's response.
All right. All right.
This is the holy shit. I don't Madeline, you're good. It's fine. But I did get a warning that if it keeps happening, they might shut the page down. I was like, holy shit. Facebook means business. Jonathan knows. Jonathan's had 3 separate accounts. I'm good. I'm very good. Dennis is very good. We behave.
I've
We are
never,
very
I have not been warned yet. I'll have to see if we push the boundaries and then we get warned.
we got warned. Tom Cheshire is here
Face,
too. Yes. We're watching you, Madeline. No, you're not sorry, Madeline. It's okay. It's fine. And you don't have to
no.
show. It's okay. We're just teasing you. We
Did
love
you
you.
say Tom's in the house?
Tom Cheshire is in the house and he just gave us
Oh
the heart.
God,
So let's give him
what a
Tom.
graceful what a graceful man. What a graceful man and a graceful
We love
presence.
him.
Anytime that we get an opportunity to have Tom Cheshire energy in
Yeah.
on our show or in
Drizzle
our present,
ourselves.
it absolutely it magnifies my compassion, it
Yeah.
magnifies my creativity, it magnifies my
Your
work on
awesomeness.
myself. It's just terrific. The man is a fantastic influence on me.
What about your awesomeness? Does it enhance your,
True, of
I'm
course it does. You know that.
okay, now that Tom is in the room, I want, can we do this? We're going to do a little promo real quick. Okay, so Tom has these hats. I'm going to go get mine. Okay. And it says hashtag I choose awesome. Dennis has one as
Absolutely.
well.
Yep.
Okay. And Dennis
Put it over
asked,
there.
right now I'm gonna get mine. Well, actually, let's talk first. So Dennis asked, we were on air like a while ago, and Dennis said, well, what does that mean to you? And I feel like I didn't come up with a good answer. But I
Okay.
feel like we should quickly just talk about this because a lot of people who are in our audience have one of these hats now. And if you don't, you just contact that man right there, Tom Cheshire, and he will get it. They're $20. He also has visors. He paints on them. He does all kinds of cool stuff. Um, so what does I choose awesome mean to you? Everybody who has a hat or who doesn't, type in there. And then Dennis, you go first because you asked the question. I'm just hijacking the question. I'm hijacking Dennis's career today. It's the best way to get up there. You grab onto someone who's already there and then you just
Absolutely. Just
that's what
follow
I'm
them
doing.
along. Absolutely.
Okay, so what does it mean to you, Dennis?
Well, in my consciousness inside Dennis, I have my choice. I have a choice on how am I going to show up. And this has nothing to do with how other people perceive me. It's really on how I'm willing to perceive myself. And all my life, I've had a tendency to choose less than, to
Mm-hmm.
choose to show up small. And what Tom, with his movement and the work, is that what he reminds me is that I get a chance to choose however I want to show up. And this is dropping my negativity, my self doubts, my fears, and to show up as my authentic self. And that authenticity is what I see and I choose awesome, because at any time whenever I have dropped the facade, I have ended up impacting others and impacting myself in the most positive of ways. So that's my interpretation of I choose awesome.
Yeah, and I agree with that. Like for me it's also just about that thing about happiness is a choice, because
Absolutely.
I've met people who are going through these catastrophic situations and they seem happier than
Mhm.
someone, or they seem happier than I am sometimes when I'm just like, like when I'm just being kind of bitchy or whatever. And I think to
Right.
myself, they chose awesome. Why can't I choose awesome? We were having a chat, some of the fans and Jonathan, and I think it was Madeline, the troublemaker. She said that she was sulking. Okay. And I said, well, I'm sulking too. So we had a little discussion about sulking, but like sometimes it's a little fun to indulge in a little sulk for 20 minutes or so. But I find for myself, if I'm doing that over and over and over again, I'm choosing not to be awesome. I'm choosing to say no to other things. When I'm saying yes to like too much excessive sulking, I'm now saying no to awesomeness. That's space that I could, in energy, I could be using on something else, you know?
Sure, it's a very fine. It's a fine line in the same way that balance is a fine line, right? I mean,
Right?
balance. You know that there's this wonderful place where I'm centered
Mm-hmm.
and I'm balanced, and that is the place that's awesome.
Right, right. Yeah, balance. I agree. I think that's really good. And Tom agrees too. Now that brings me into this subject about less than, because yesterday we were live and we were talking about ascending and embracing your dreams and, you know, like self-doubt and just going for it, right?
Yes.
Going for it. And now you just mentioned this whole thing about less than. And that's something that I want to just jump off because I think it's connected before we go to our next topic.
Mhm.
Because to me, doing that whole less than little dance, okay, when we do that, not only you said, Dennis, right now, you said it's not just that you're selling yourself short, but it's like other people too,
Oh
like
yeah, it's always because I mean I've never seen my external reality tends to mirror my internal reality. So that if I'm sitting there and saying, okay, well, the world, oh man, look at all how the people are treating me. They're not treating me well, and they're not responding. What I have found is that it has much more to do with my internal landscape. Whenever I
yeah.
emotionally react to
Mm-hmm.
someone out there, if it triggers my emotions, then
Mm-hmm.
it says more about me and I need to do my internal work than it says about the other person. And I don't care whether this person is the president of the United States or this
Mm-hmm.
president or is some other person. If they trigger me emotionally, that says that Dennis has some work to do. I have some work to do. What does that say about me?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I think we always have to be doing that, right? We always have to be coming back to the center and seeing how things affect us. For me, I know that when I get into this whole less than thing, some of my friends call it like martyr Renee, but they're being sarcastic. They're, you know, like,
Martyr.
oh, this whole like
No, they're
martyr
not being
thing.
sarcastic.
Well, that
What do you
I'm
mean
not
by
a
being
true martyr. I'm not
sarcastic?
actually saving anyone's lives, you know?
Oh, I see what you mean by martyr. Yeah, it's just that self-martyrdom. Exactly.
Yeah, it's bullshit. It's not like the good, you know, it's not the good martyrdom. It's not the hero throwing himself on a grenade and he saves 80 kids. It's not like that. Look at your face right now. You're doing the promo face. Ah, look at Dennis's face. Everybody look at that. Look, how do you do that? I can't. My facial
I,
structure doesn't
no,
allow
it
me.
was just I was trying to picture myself throwing myself on a grenade, and I was trying to picture that. I was trying to picture the thought process. I just don't know. I guess that's one of
Nobody
those things that you
knows.
don't know until you're right in the situation.
There was this guy, I guess it was in New York. People might remember this, but he's this huge guy and he had his two young kids there. And a lady tried to commit suicide by throwing herself under the subway onto the track as the train was coming. And the father just pushed both of his kids back and then jumped on the track, laid over her as the train went over them both. And so they asked him, like, wait, what? Like, how did that happen? And weren't you afraid that your kids would see their dad like killed? And he said, I didn't think. Like, and I've heard a lot of heroes like say that. And he's like, you can call me a hero, but honestly, if I had time to think about it, I wouldn't have done it. Like, we don't know. For all we know, it's like there's a chemistry there. So we can't actually know. I say that all the time because I do daring and brave, courageous things all the time. And then like I punk out. I do that. I don't know. I'm like, I can never tell. Okay, people are saying that Dennis's volume is higher than mine. That's why I got sidetracked. So I'm going to fix that, people. Do you guys want
Can you
me up or
adjust?
him?
Can you adjust the volume?
Yeah. I will. I just don't know if I should come up or if you should come down. I'll put Dennis down. No, I don't want
Please.
to do that. I want to bring myself up. No, I want to bring myself up. All right, guys. Okay. So let's move on from here. And
Thank you,
there was
Jonathan. Thank you for helping.
Oh, thank you so much. Yes. So I want to talk about reconciliation because that was a topic yesterday that
Hmm.
we didn't get to. And of course, with Afghanistan in the news and there's all kinds of stuff going on, this is a big thing. But
And New
there's a
Orleans and New Orleans and Louisiana with they're out of power. It's over 100. The heat index is over 100, and all of those 8 transmission line, the big towers, 8 towers were blown over, so they have no power.
Right. I know. And the thing is like that's terrible.
And
People
Haiti.
who yeah, Haiti,
So
like
so how do
all
you
over the
deal with it?
world.
How do you deal with your empathy, and deal with empathy in that when there is so much going on, and so much going on in the world, how do you deal with it in order to be able to stay centered enough so that we don't get paralyzed? Because it's such a
Right.
sense to be paralyzed.
Well, Jonathan's reminding us that that was Daniel who pitched the reconciliation question, aka Mudcat, a fantastic bluesman, and you're gonna interview him, Dennis.
How
And I told
wonderful.
Yeah, when I told you, Dennis, that I have all these guests lined up for you, Mudcat's one of them. He has played with Taj Mahal. He's played with all the great blues musicians. He's like bona fide. But
Wonderful. I
anyways,
could
he asked that.
certainly use a blues lesson, because I am so ignorant here that could really help me out.
He will totally help you. I wonder if Delta Blues is getting a promo problem because of the Delta virus. Wah, wah. You could hear that joke die a terribly lonely death in a corner.
All by itself, it's just sitting there in the corner, just
I
oh.
did that. You know what was funny is that I made the choice. Like I knew that was going to suck. And I
So you
just,
knew that inside
yes,
your head, you said, I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it anyway.
that's why I do this with you. Because how do you spell reconciliation? I'm trying to make the banner. Reconcil.
E A Sean.
Reconciliation. That sounds like a song. R-E. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
um,
So what do you want to say about it, Ray?
I was in the middle. Oh no, I made the decision to do that horrible joke because I wanted your reaction.
Mm-hmm.
If it was anyone else on
Well, I
screen,
mean, but if it wasn't, the thing is that when you make a science joke with scientists, they might be laugh, but people who are not scientists wouldn't really understand the joke. Well, Dennis, who doesn't understand blues, didn't understand the joke. Well,
you
I
did.
didn't get the
Delta
joke.
Blues. It's
What is
called
that?
Delta Blues. It's
Is
called
that's the color of the airplane, right?
No, it's like Son House and Robert Johnson, and because then Elmore James went up to like Chicago, and that's the Blues Brothers blues. Like it was more electric, but Delta Blues is way back in the day.
I see. In the
Yeah,
Mississippi Delta.
Mississippi Delta. That's right.
Well,
So
see, now you're giving me an education. See, you cannot
Mudcat
assume
is going
just
to
because
educate
I
you.
am, just because I'm significantly older than you. You cannot assume that I understand, that
But
I
you
that
are.
I have the same experience. I could tell you things about quantum mechanics that you wouldn't understand. So it's
That's
not. I'm
not.
not. It's the same thing. Just because you're smart, and you're smart with blues and reds and yellows and all other colors that I'm not. What
Okay.
are the blues?
So I'm not going to do it because you're going to interview
Okay.
Mudcat. You're going to
All
get
right.
like an hour with
He
Mudcat.
will help. He will help me to understand, because I've wanted to understand some of this, because I understand that as much as I have read Zora Neale Hurston,
Person. Yes.
and so many and a number of the wonderful African American writers, and tried to study that, there are still questions that I want to know about this mourning quality, that comes out of the blues, that has something
Right. Yeah.
that comes out of that I need to speak my soul in order to be able to heal, to be able to survive the difficulties, the challenges, that are in a normal. But so I need a deeper understanding of this, and perhaps Mudcat can help me with that.
Mudcat is going to be your guy because anything I say now is going to pale in comparison to what he's going to say. So
Well,
I don't want to mess up.
you're just the pale woman to do it.
I'm just the pale woman to do it, okay? But I will tell you this. I grew up, my favorite movie has always been the Blues Brothers. I grew up on the Blues Brothers. I was obsessed with the Blues Brothers. I wanted to be the Blues Brothers, okay? And so that's, my introduction to the blues. But I
Did
don't
it ever
know.
bother you that there weren't the Blues Sisters?
Absolutely not. I'm a woman.
Did
I
you ever
wanted to.
hear? You mean
I'm a
women can't?
woman.
Women couldn't do what they did?
Of course, if you saw Carrie Fisher in the movie, you'll find out who was the dominant character in the Blues Brothers. She has just she has a machine gun. They were the sewer. Anyways, the Blues Sisters. No, I wasn't one of those girls. I wasn't. I know that Hillary Clinton kind of was. I had several girlfriends who were like that. I was never like that. For me, I never saw my gender as impeding any of my progress. I made all my decisions based on whatever I wanted to do. I never thought about it ever until like I was an adult, and then people started telling me shit. I was oblivious to the fact that like, okay, I don't know if you guys can handle this. I don't know if you guys can handle this because Madeline's a troublemaker, but I officially am a troublemaker. Okay. And yes, I have all these freckles, guys. It's because I've been out in the sun and I don't wear foundation. So my beautiful alabaster skin now has all these little sun things and I don't cover them. I should cover them. Okay, thank you. Thank you. I didn't do that. Oh no, it was better if I didn't have to look at myself. No, I'm trying to be far away. Okay. So here's you guys, this is what happens when both of us have hi Lorraine. This is what happens when two people have look at him laughing. Look at him. He's the troublemaker. Madeline's not the troublemaker. This guy's a troublemaker.
And what
the fuck is going on?
This is why you don't let Dennis into the control room. This is why you do not, because the entire feed goes down when you let Dennis into the control room.
Holy shit, that was the coolest thing ever. First he silenced me, then he silenced himself, and I saw it was okay. What I wanted to say is, let me give you an example. Okay. All right. See, Madeline likes it. Troublemakers unite. Okay. When I was in Catholic primary school, elementary school. Okay. So I'm like a little kid and we had uniforms.
Mm-hmm.
If this is getting boring, just raise a hand. Dennis, I'm talking to you. No, I want your reaction. Like reactions are like where we get the promo shots from.
Okay, go for it.
I'm doing marketing right now.
All right. All right, and so we're all going to pretend that you didn't say Renee in her Catholic schoolgirl uniform. We're all going to pretend that that's not what you were talking about.
Is that why I'm getting all the DMs? Okay, so here's the thing: direct messages. Okay, no, but I'm going to take that image out of everyone's mind. See, Jonathan said this is quintessential Ray and Dennis. This is R&D Café. We have reached peak R&D Café. So here's what it says. Yes, and Sandy says yellow looks good on Dennis. Of course it does. It looks fantastic on Dennis.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sandy. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's Sandy D. Oh, I love having her in the room.
Do you want to sit? Do you want me to arrange like a one-on-one? Because I feel like that would be an amazing conversation.
That'd be a wonderful conversation. I mean, she's quite an interesting. Just in the little bit that she communicates with us, it's always interesting.
She has had a rock and roll lifestyle on an A-list level. Did you know that? She's so humble and sweet, but she knows, like she's like one of these movers and shakers out there. She was out there on the West Coast. Cynthia Weaver is here. Hello, Cynthia. Okay, so here's what I want to say. So Catholic schoolgirl, and they have the uniforms, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I just decided, okay, well, at some point I was like, I don't want to wear that skirt anymore. You know, like the ones with like the green plaid. They're green
Could you
plaid
stop,
over here.
Please?
So anyway.
Enough. You don't. I'm trigger.
Just, come quiet. That's what I came up with this morning. You see, I told you we did this. Okay.
I didn't know. I didn't know we would need it, but I'm just asking you. I'm asking you to please go on with the story.
We're going to do a different story because it involves like 4 of my girlfriends as well. So I think we need to do it different. I think come quiet. All right, I'm going to move on. Everyone's dying. Like we have reached peak. Okay. It's the freckles, y'all. It's the freckles. Okay. Well, all I wanted to say is that at some point I became a little gang leader And I determined I didn't want my panties to be flashing every time I was sitting down somewhere. Okay. So I decided wake up, slap, 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 slap. Wait, water, pour some water over your head. No, seriously, don't do it. No, you'll get electrocuted. We need the headphones. This is a financial situation. Do not ruin the headphones. All I'm saying is I wore pants, and I don't know how that orchestrated. Like, I don't know how I got permission to, but once I did it, all the little girls wanted to do it. And then we were all dressed like the same, and like all the little girls did it. But it never occurred to me that we wouldn't. And they allowed it. The school allowed it. It wasn't like not. But I think my mom, see, I'm going to ask her now. I think my mom must have made a phone call. My mom probably let it happen somewhere. Anyways,
I got a problem with your mother right now.
Oh my gosh, me too. We need to have a whole fucking show where we
really need to have a show
on that. That's why we're talking.
My thing is that you have a rock star mother. What people don't understand is that to the world of psychology, her name is Christine, but she goes by Chris. Christine Bochco, Dr. Christine Bochco, but she goes by Chris. That's a 4-letter, just like she is to psychology, what Cher is to music.
We need to get the picture. We need to do the promo.
And so anyway, but the thing is that we don't get no love. We don't get. She's interviewed by the New York Times. She's on Psychology Today. She's on the CNN. She has so many things. Are we mentioned?
Never.
Are we mentioned? Cher goes out and takes care of her children.
Chastity.
What's the matter? What's the matter with you? What have you done to her? What have you done to her that she won't? Oh, are you sure? You realize that she likes me better than she likes you. She takes my side on things when she has. So I don't know what it is that you've done. I don't know what it is that you've done that she won't. But we need her help.
We need her help
because we're a fledgling network. We're just trying to be,
If you look,
we're trying to
kick out of the nest or come out of the nest or go like this.
I know, but this is a fledgling network, and if we're going to do this, we need help.
I know. Let me give you guys. So here's what Dennis is talking about, and yes, she does prefer Dennis to me, which is annoying because like I can't ever bring any situation to her because she's so fucking biased. It's like Southern justice. It's like, yeah, we'll let this one weigh in on this case. Like, I wonder how my mother will feel about this situation. I'm gonna do like a Rodney Dangerfield thing. I get no respect. So anyway, everything is just she just likes Dennis. I don't know what it is. That's her thing.
I don't know either, but I'm grateful.
I'm grateful too, except for it's annoying. But anyways, okay. So, but yeah, like the other day, she literally within a 24-hour period, she's a writer for Psychology Today. I was like, come on, everybody reads Psychology Today. So which I edited the fucking article. I got no credit. Anyways, and my picture was in the article and I got no credit. She did that. Then she woke up and had New York Times, Huffington Post, and then someone from the AP. And that's just a normal day for her. And with 24 hours, where we mentioned the fact that we have a network, all of our shows, all of our programming, it was not mentioned. It was not mentioned. I had lunch with her.
Not even one bit. So we gotta get some help.
Fucked up. It's fucked up. And we're gonna get together. You and I are gonna huddle. We're gonna figure out a way around this shit. This is the woman who, I'm serious, when we did South by Southwest, she got invited to go to South by Southwest to speak there. I get a call from her. I'm in Savannah, Georgia. I'm in the car. I'm parked there. It's a hot day. And my phone, I get a text from Chris. This is back 2015. And the text says, have you ever heard of a thing called Southwest something by something with an X in it? And then I didn't answer. I was trying to figure out what she talked about. And then she said, no, me neither. I'm going to say no. And then I said, holy shit. And I called the phone and said, Mom, do not decline. It's a real thing. She goes, maybe it's spam. So that's how we go to South by Southwest. I had no idea. She's always doing that. She's like, have you ever heard of London Financial Times? Should I waste my time with Yes, Mom, you should take that.
Take that call.
Anyways, okay. So reconciliation is something, because let me tell you, here's the thing. As fun as I am, I'm also an expert on genocide law and atrocity law, an expert. Yep. I studied with like the top people for 2 years. And I'm telling you, there are places in the world like Sierra Leone
Yep.
where they have truth and reconciliation tribunals because they can't
Right.
prosecute everyone.
And well, they
And
did
you
the
have
same
to,
thing in South Africa.
and in South Africa, right, places where there's too many people you can't prosecute, you have to go on with your lives. So sometimes like your neighbor might be someone who like killed your family and you have to go forward. So don't, after I did all that stuff, my thing to myself is, Renee, don't tell me you can't forgive or learn how to coexist with this human, when I know millions of people in the world throughout time and space have had to do that way on a high level. So that keeps me accountable. I say to myself, okay, I'm a little miffed at so and so. Did they kill my entire family? No. There are people who have to live like that, who do forgive and who know how to forgive. So that teaches me that I also
Right.
need to be forgiving. Not the
Right.
crime. You don't want to say it's okay that the crime happened, but forgiving the person and coexisting, even though you don't see eye to
Well,
eye.
I love that, because the most resonant piece of forgiveness that I've heard is that forgiveness means that I'm no longer going to hold the grudge. It doesn't mean that it's okay. It's just I'm not going to hold it against that person any longer. I'm not going to hold that. And I think this is a really important subject, because right now we're having a number of musicians and comedians that are going back on tour. People are returning. So how do we do that? How do you separate Woody Allen from his art? How
See,
do you
this is the
separate
question.
Louis C.K. from
Louis
his art?
C.K., big one.
How do you separate Joss Whedon from his art? Joss Whedon, the director of the Avengers and the writer, and also of Buffy and Angel, one of my heroes, who had a very toxic work environment. How do you separate what Andrew Cuomo did from all the good he did from his exploits and his accusation? How do you separate those things, and how do you work forward?
Well, yeah, it's a really great question, because I don't know, and I don't know the answer, because
I
if
don't
we
know.
get
I'm not
so,
asking for an answer. I'm not answering, but what
yeah,
I'm saying is, how do we talk about it? How do
how
we
do
at
we talk
least
about it?
be
And
able to talk about it so that we
here's my
can?
question. I got a question then. Okay, let me frame it this way. Dennis, what could Louis C.K.,
Mhm.
whose bad acts included, masturbating on the phone with women that he was in a fiduciary sort of professional relationship with, so they felt
Mhm.
like they couldn't say no,
Right.
because he was a big star at the time, and these were up and comer comics. Okay, so that's his bad acts. What could he say to you, Dennis, that would make you want to share a stand-up stage with him, or to produce a show with him, and you would want to be in some kind of a production alliance with him? What could he say to you? What's the perfect way for him to do that for you?
So you want me to model what he would
Model
say?
it, yeah, because like Sarah Silverman, she has accepted his apology. He didn't do anything to her directly, but they're old friends, and she's come out and
Mhm.
she has said, "Hey, bygones be bygones. Not everyone's perfect. I'm choosing to
Well,
whatever."
it was it would, we wanted to talk about this before, because we were going to do a show on
Mhm.
Jeffrey Toobin, which is the man
Right,
who was
a whole panel show.
a panel show on he was masturbating on Zoom and didn't turn his
Yep.
camera off in a meeting. And and the thing was, is I'm not as interested in the actual act as I'm
Mhm,
interested in two things. What was happening in his mind 5 minutes before
mhm,
he made that decision? What was
right,
going on? What was and also, what have you learned from it? What
mhm,
have you learned about yourself? So I would ask Louis, I would ask him, I say, all right, so please tell me your mindset before then, what was going on, and then tell me about your mindset now. I mean, your actual mindset. Have we
Okay.
learned? I mean, when I look at the things that I've done in my past that have either been have either really either been things I'm ashamed about or embarrassed
Hmm.
about that I have done, whether I have betrayed a person or I've done
Hmm.
something. I have over the course of my life, I have lied, I have cheated, I have stolen, I have I'm
So you're
fortunate.
human. So you're human.
I'm human, exactly. So
In other words, you're confessing to being human.
I am. That's my
That's
confession.
your biggest
And
crime
in
right
doing
now.
so, so that I look about that, and I mean I look about that, and so, but it is important to me. It would be important to me to know, to learn what is it that what did he learn about himself that has changed him since that time. And if he were to say, well, I haven't learned anything, I think everything was fine, then I would not want to be on the stage. I would not.
Oh,
I would not.
you
But I
okay.
would like to know the journey, because I am certainly a different person. I am certainly a more evolved person than I was before then.
Right. Well, I mean, I find that really cool. One thing I do want to say, think it's interesting that you're talking about change and that kind of evolution, that's meaningful
Mhm.
to you, more meaningful to you than the initial act, I guess, right?
Well, I mean, it is. There are certain things, and you have to understand. I think everyone has to do this on their own individual basis on what they will accept and what they not. Someone who has, I have not gone through the kinds of abuse that some people have gone
Mhm.
through and that would be triggered by.
Mhm.
And so I will have a different experience
Of
than they. So
course.
I will not try to put myself into their position or just say, well, you ought to let him go or to do. That's not what I'm saying.
No.
I'm saying for me personally on what I
Yes.
would do on whether or not, but those would be the questions I would want to know before. I know I have to own up to my own. I have to own up to my own my failings. I have to own up to them. I've had to own up to them and do them and to accept them and to get through them.
Right. And so what I find really important about what you're talking about is the change, because when I would, a lot of people know that I used to do a lot of death row ministry.
Hmm.
And in the state of Georgia, particularly, that means you are there with them with no shackles. You're there in a big room with these men, and all of them are accused of capital crime. They're convicted of capital crimes,
Hmm.
and many of those details I was aware of, and I never once in any of those encounters ever felt like I was the better person. I never felt like I was less of a bad person. I never felt that. I looked for that. That's why I started the Death Row Ministries. I wanted to be able to sit down with people who had done horrible things and find out, like, are we different? And what I found, just speaking for myself, is that I maybe they got caught for something else, or maybe their life was just they had stressors that I didn't have. I grew up in a lot of privilege. A lot of these guys didn't have that. So the acts I'll never say are correct, but I never felt like I was like a more righteous human being than those people. But they had all evolved by the time I was talking to them. I never sat down and spent time with someone who was like, "Yeah, I love killing people." I never did that. I never was around serial killers. I never was around anyone who I was only the people who would want to talk to me would be the people who had evolved, that they were trying to better themselves. And so a lot of them were actually more stable and trustworthy than most of the people I knew that I might have been dealing with outside of that, because they were very focused on evolving and every day trying to make up for that act that they did. But you had a
Well,
reaction to
I think it's
that.
well.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's. I mean that's an interesting thing because knowing, as I say, and drives you nuts every time I say this, and I'm sorry that it does, but it's true. Is that I wake up each morning going, "Wow, I'm awake. about to spend another day. I'm at 73 because you're constantly reading in the papers. Wait until you get to be my age, Renee. You'll see that you'll read in
It's
the
a
papers.
trigger for me because I adore you. So for me, that's
Thank you.
very
But
painful.
still, but
You're like,
still, in
so
my
for me to have to sit with that,
in my
very tough.
experience,
Hmm.
it's just, but I'm getting a chance to go through it. You think you're triggered by it? I'm going through it.
I'm going
It's
through it
actually
too because I have
happening.
health problems. I'm going
I know, I understand that, but still, it's still the to
through.
to understand. But having my death very close to me, keeping it close, is making me feel more alive. I'm feeling more clarity. More just like these men who are on death row, they're feeling that clarity. And well, I'm feeling a clarity from having my death close to
You
having
don't
it
know that
close
it's
to me.
close because you could be 35,
I
30,
said, I
40
know, I
years out.
understand that. I said, just
Okay.
keeping it close to me. I meant that
Mhm.
I'm keeping it close to me. So in other words, I'm not thinking about, well, oh, don't worry, I'll say this tomorrow, or I won't do.
Mhm.
I'm much more being present and saying, okay, well, whatever I need to say today, let's go ahead and get it out. Let's go whatever I need to do today. Let's go ahead and do that and not put it off until tomorrow, thinking that I'm going to have another day because I have no idea. I look in the paper all the time, and the people that are younger than I am, they thought they were right there, and then they're not. And
Well,
so I'm grateful for my 73 years. I'm grateful to have it. I'm grateful for each subsequent day that I will have. But I also am experiencing what elderhood feels like.
mhm,
And any one of us who get into the silverback stage and get into that opportunity to be able to be an elder in the tribe
mhm,
of human beings, it's like being a teenager. You go through, a teenager goes through growth spurts, right?
mhm.
Well, with me, I go through age spurts. Where suddenly I'll look and I'll go, so, oh man, look at there. Oh, this is fun.
Mhm.
Where did that come from? You know, or I'll see the skin that has a tissue paper quality to it, that it has.
Mhm.
Where did that come from? I mean, those are all. I mean, it's fascinating.
I find it fascinating. You're talking to a middle-aged woman, so my body is going through a
Yeah,
huge
your body's
change.
going through
Yeah.
changes too, and then and of course you're one of these estrogen based humans.
Yes, that's what I am. So I'm going through one of these things as well. And also having had multiple health problems, I had to go through all of that very young. My death was
Mhm.
always right in front of me. Now this is interesting. I know there are some people that are here today who are taking care of um, different people
I'm absolutely taking care of elders and this
or
entire
youngers,
process, or
right?
younger.
Or youngers or
Exactly.
people with health. So
Or
I want to
peers. They're taking care of peers too.
right.
People.
So I wanna be emotionally honest with them, um, because I think it will help them. So I'm gonna make a decision to be vulnerable right now and to say, I've there's been many times in my life, including even just recently, that I have to think, "No, no, I wanna look at you." So, did you see how I made a decision? I'm very bossy today. Ever since it was,
Soothing.
"Hi, I'm Renee." See, I told you once I hijacked that, it was all I wanna say this, is that because this is gonna make sense to somebody out there, okay? Um, I can confront my own death very easily. And in the Catholic tradition, we are raised with, "Remember, man, you shall die." Remember, man, you shall die. I forget the Latin, but that's why you see a lot of like skulls in these like saints, like Saint Jerome. He's always with a skull. The hermits would always look at skulls and stuff. Ever since I was a kid, I'm fine with it. Okay, as fine as a human can be. There's not bravado. I'm cool with that. My heart stopped when I was 18. I'm fine, but but I really really was not comfortable. I'm the reason I don't like it when you go there, Dennis, is that's the fear. Like, I can't, like, I'm not, no, that's hurtful. So it's more hurtful, and I think everyone can relate to that. People
For
who
sure. Well, you're
care
just
about
going to
other
have to
people.
let me talk about it with other people than you.
Right, or talk about it with me, but we find a way that then that doesn't make me really sad or upset or stressed, you know, to do that,
Right.
because other people can relate, right? Like me being like, okay, like I'm having a heart issue or event, maybe I won't wake up. I'm like, all right, okay, you don't have those problems, but like, let's say you did. Well, that's my whole fucking week then, that's like and other people can relate. And I'm saying that because I know other people who watch our shows. A lot of them are there and they have people in their families who actually have medical issues that are really traumatic, and
Absolutely.
that's harder than your own thing. And I think there's also a female element there too. Women do tend to be highly empathetic. We are caretakers, we are nurturers. So that said, my best friend of all time, Edison, is in surgery right now. He is in surgery right now, and I am sailing through like a breeze. I keep forgetting that it's happening. So it's not with everybody. He's going to be fine. He's going to be fine. So I'm not like this with everyone, but it is it is stressful. So yes, talk about it with other people, talk about it with me. I have prepared people, young, healthy, fit people, for their deaths. And I was, again, smooth sailing. But when you talk about it, it's not that I don't like talking about it. It's just, it's, you know, I'm human. I'm one of these things called humans. So
Hmm.
when I care, then then I have a dog in the fight, you know. So I'm just putting that out there. I'm just saying it. It's not that I don't want you to talk about it. I wish that we would talk about it with my 40-year cap on it. Just be like, yeah, 40 years from now, blah blah blah. Like if you
Okay.
start every sentence with that,
Okay.
it would be easier for me.
So anyway, in these last few minutes, is there any subject that is on one of our wonderful fan driven? Because remember, the Tardon Media Network. This is the Tardon Media Network,
Mhm.
and what we
Uh-huh.
are fantastic, and we are fan driven. We need to know what's on your mind, what you care about, you're worried about, and so that we can help to bring the subjects that are there. And
That are
again,
important to you.
this is not these are not lectures. These are conversations,
Mhm.
and we're not experts. We are two human beings who are attempting to have a conversation about difficult subjects and challenging subjects and fun subjects and learning subjects. And the
Mhm.
best way we can do it is to get it from our fans so that we can grow in the direction that you want us to grow, so we can
Mhm.
support you in the way that you're supporting us.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And so I want to end on kind of like a more fun topic, but was that
More
so
fun
Dennis?
than death. Oh, but that's my favorite. All
That's
right,
my
go ahead.
favorite too. Dennis and I both are fans of Elizabeth Kubler-Ross.
Dia de los Muertos and all of the everything that surrounds this wonderful process of birth and death and Kali
Saint
and
Saint
all.
Francis had a whole poem like to Sister Death,
Mhm.
and how
Yeah.
wonderful it is and all that. But there's death that you're going, that like I'm going through, which is like, this
Hmm.
great journey and process. And then there's like people that you love who die and you're still there.
Yep.
That's the thing that I think that's harder. I don't, not for everyone, but if you care about a particular person, that's the hard part. But I
Mhm.
don't know. Was it good that I was emotionally, like, what do you think? Was that good that I did that, or did that sort of like dampen the conversation? Should I just let it go? Like, what do you think? Because we talk about this all the time. How real do we want to be with our fans? How real do we want to be?
Very. The more
And you
real,
always
the
say
better. I think
very.
always the more the better. The more real, the better. Just like, I mean, I don't know whether you saved that one program that you and I, when we had that.
Yes, I told you I
Did you
did.
actually save it? I mean, you actually
Yes,
have it,
it's
right?
here.
Thank you. You
Yes,
did download, because StreamYard doesn't keep these more than 30 days. After that, they don't keep them.
I'll
So
go and
as
look.
long as you did.
No, no, no. I mean, it's saved on Facebook. It is saved on Facebook. No,
All right. So as
I'll
long
go
as you
look.
have, because I want, please go look, because I really want to
I know.
dissect that, because I think it's really important that you and I be as real as possible.
As real as possible, within, like I don't want to divulge like real shit or like
There's
other
a
people.
different, no,
I know.
there's a difference between divulging and being emotionally transparent at the moment. In other words, we're not.
Emotionally transparent. Yes. Oh, I love that. I love that. That you just broke that wide open. Being emotionally transparent in that moment doesn't mean that you're feeding all the details to everyone all the time. You don't even need that.
No,
It's just saying
I'm just
right now
telling
I
you
feel
how I'm feeling, how I'm feeling.
right.
Exactly.
Right.
And
Okay. Now
that's what
here's what Oh, no, no, keep talking. It's okay. I'm just looking at the time, so I wanted to squeeze this in, but I want you to finish your sentence. Finish. See, this is what we do. We do stare downs. He's from Texas. I'll never win. All right, left-handed compliments. This is a fun one. This is a fun one. Don't you love this?
yes.
Okay, I I agree. Everyone was saying that this is like what drives them nuts. For me, it's go big or go home. So, like, if someone wants to compliment me and they
Mhm.
don't do but this is a thing that they're teaching. This is horrible. This is in the zeitgeist. If anyone knows the term, please remind me. It's like famous, unfortunately. Dating coaches are telling young college men who are on the dating scene
Mhm.
to approach a woman with a left handed compliment because she will suddenly be insecure and trying to please him. So one example is like one of the things that they'll tell a young man is they'll say, if you go to the bar and you've seen a young lady there several times, approach her like the second or third time you've seen her and say something like, oh, your dress today is so much more, beautiful than the one you wore last time I saw you. It's a left-handed compliment. So now the theory is that the woman is
So he
now
doesn't
feeling,
mean it. He doesn't mean it.
well, he can choose an authentic one. He just thinks he has to make sure
Can he
it's
say to her,
left-handed.
I love the dress that you're wearing here today. I love this. I love it better than the one than you were wearing last week. I think this is much more flattering to you.
Right. And when you do that, all she's gonna we because we know in human behavior, all we latch onto is the criticism, right? We don't latch on to praise. So all she's going to be
Why?
thinking about
And
is
we
it's
need to get
psychological
Diane. We
warfare.
need to get Dr. Cole
We do
on
need to
here
get Dr.
to
Cole.
to find out what it is about the human being that makes us that makes the negative stick harder than the positive.
Right, right. Like,
Because I
okay,
mean, because they're both equal. They're both equal feedback. And he just told her how beautiful that this is a beautiful dress that you're wearing today. Assuming that he is, and assuming that he's
mhm.
obviously he's a fashion guy, and he would have recognized the difference between the fashions that he wore. And I'm
You are going, you are going. Sandy said,
no,
unless you're an intentaholic. No, but you're getting into the thing. The point is, it's psychological warfare. It's manipulation with the intent to engineer a
yes,
certain
if it
response.
was the intent to do that rather
Of
than just to
course.
give honest feedback, then if he was intending to do that, then that is no,
It's
no,
called a
no.
thing. It's a thing meant to
I
undermine the woman's
don't.
confidence and to
Okay,
make her
that
attach
to
to him.
me, let me tell you,
Mhm,
if undermining someone's confidence to make them attractive to you,
mhm.
that to me is awful.
It's awful and it's
That
not
is
sustainable. It is
awful.
not, it will not work. And I will tell, I
No.
want young men who are being told this and believe it, there's a whole Twitter thing about it. A lot of boys, really more boys than men, I think, are really getting into this. I will tell you,
No.
boys and men, I will tell you, it might work some of the times on some women, but I trust me, it is not sustainable. And second of all, there's a lot of women like myself where actually when anyone says does that to me and I can tell they're trying to pull me down, I just don't value their opinion after that
I
point
would
because
really could we pick this up the next
turns me
time?
up. Yeah. Okay, yes, we're done. Yes. And Sandy says it's a turn off for her
No,
too.
no, no, no.
Exactly.
I mean, well, manipulation. I want to talk about manipulation. I'd like to talk about this and that entire process. Okay.
I love how we leave people wanting more. Don't you guys want more? It's so crazy. So everybody, look, because he has a hard stop, so we're gonna go. But thank you, everybody. Keep sending us comments and let us know what you want to see next time. Okay, love you guys.